Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in this video I wanted to go over my engine. As I mentioned in a couple other videos, I was on a methanol injection setup originally, and there was a problem where a wire wasn't hooked up and it flooded my motor, blew up the engine of course. So then I was looking at getting a built engine, and that's what I kind of want to dive into a little bit right now. And so for built motors, I recommend you do a Facebook search for a guy named William Mason. It's just like the name William except with a B. He's highly regarded on built motors. And then there's a couple other guys. If he doesn't work out, you can message me on the channel and I can give you them as well. I don't know them off the top of my head, but I got them saved on my phone. But anyway, so when I was getting ready to do the built motor, I wanted to basically, I had actually been wanting to build a built motor in a year or two, when it was more comfortable for me. But, when the motor blew because of the methanol, it kind of forced my hand. And so basically, I wanted to go ahead and, do it really good. I've been, in cars a long time, so I know a pretty good amount about all that. I've taken whole motors apart and installed them and stuff like that. Back in the day, I don't work on cars anymore. I don't have the patience for it. But anyway, so I went for broke in this one here. I went for fresh in short block. Closed deck conversion, which was done by the place in Houston, ABR. That was one of the main things I knew I wanted was a closed deck because I knew I was going to be running a lot more boost and I wanted it to be solid. And then also I have a pin crank hub. I have steel rods from Crillo, and I knew that I wanted to have steel rods because I've heard a lot of people who push these motors wind up blowing the rods if they push too much boost to them, especially lower RPMs, which I want to do anyway. But and then also I got JE fully forged pistons. Obviously, very well known. Both of Crillo and Jay have been around as long as I've been around. Highly regarded parts, and also I went with some stage 4 race heads with a full titanium valve train, and also upgraded to the next version. I think it's 3/8 ARP head studs. ARP's been around forever. Everybody knows them too as well. So this motor, should easily take 35, 40 psi. Right now I'm basically limited by my turbos. They're running out of air. I'm running at about 29 psi on this setup. But if you consider that the stage 4 race heads have been ported and polished, if those were stock type of heads, that'd probably be more like 32 to 33, probably 31, 33. Because you lose some pressure drop because the heads are of course ported and everything, so they eat up some of that. And so that's the current setup of this motor. It should last who knows how long. I'm very underutilizing this engine. As I said, it should easily take 35 to 40 psi. It's solid motor. I just don't have the big single turbo to push it. I also don't have the desire to, and I don't know if I ever will, because the power of this car right now is almost scary. I mean, it's so fast. It's like a rocket in first gear. It's almost hard to handle this car anymore. I just don't have any desire to get any more power out of it at this time. Yeah, I know a lot of people said that, but I know myself, and I'm perfectly happy with this car. I was happy with it before when the motor blew. So, I just want to drive it now and just enjoy it, because every minute in this vehicle is, like a dream. So I just kind of wanted to dive into some details on the actual engine. And so, there you go. And that's about all I can think of. I didn't go with cam shafts. I love the sound of a nice Lopi cam, but I was talked out of that by a couple of gurus. And motor building world, that it just wouldn't make much difference. It might make it less drivable, of course. The other thing too is the car is incredibly drivable with this setup. I mean, you can probably hardly tell it from a stock vehicle except for the exhaust. It doesn't sound anything different, like I say, except for the exhaust. So I couldn't be more pleased with the way that this car is right now. This car has the performance of $100,000 plus vehicles. In fact, it'd probably beat most of them, for a tiny fraction of the cost. So I'm just going to leave this car alone. Like I said, the turbos have run out of air at about 7100 RPM. 7100 RPM. They're basically done. The boost starts dropping down to like 24, 25 psi. So they're just basically out. They're out of air for this motor. This motor could easily handle 7500 RPM, no doubt, especially with this titanium valve train and stuff, no doubt. So that's basically a quick overview of and some details on the motor itself. If you have any questions, just post them here.